Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be looking at things to consider before moving. Literally moving from city to city or anywhere in the world. So I have the help of my friend here, and I'm going to be using the points I have here, all 10, in no particular order, just to explain to everyone what you should consider or what I think is important when you're moving to a new area, country, etc. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Let's dive in. The first one is cost. Obviously, money is a very important when you're moving, right? You need the dollar bills or the whatever currency of the location where you're at. You need that to pay your monthly bills, utilities, and everything else. So really consider your budget. If you're getting a mansion, it's definitely going to cost you way less than it's going to cost for a one-bedroom apartment or a shared accommodation. The second thing is security. Security is very important because you are moving to somewhere unfamiliar. You need to know that that place has a low crime rate. You need to know that your kids, your loved ones will be safe just walking down to get milk from the grocery store. So it's really important to think about the security. Also with security, we're thinking about the police. How fast is the fire services? How fast is the police when there's an emergency? All those things you need to consider. The third thing is the weather. It's really important for me, especially. So where I'm located, it's in BC, and then it's the warmest part of BC as well, on Vancouver Island. So when you're moving, you also need to consider like the temperature. Can you survive? How important is humidity versus like dry air? All those kind of things. Some people can do well with the snow, while others don't like snow. I personally do not like snow, so I'm glad to be in one of the warmest areas. Even though we get to below zero as well, it's just important to know that you are in a place that you like. You know, you have to consider, am I going to be able to shovel the snow, or do I want it sunny like 9 months out of 12, or do I not mind like some areas where they only get like 3 months? So like, do I want 9 months of sunshine versus only 3 months of sunshine? Those things are super important, right? Then the fourth thing is job security. Apart from job security, I think it's important to think about how easy it is to get a job, because some people are located in areas that, you know, there's only one industry supporting them. So if you think about like the older times or olden days where they're like mining cities and I think I'll call them like lumberjacks, like forestry corporations and things like that. Once that company folded, like thousands of people lost their jobs and had to move to either another bigger city or something just to find sustenance. So you have to consider like how easy is it to get a job, and then how easy is it if you got retrenched, or if you lost your job, I think, or unemployed or fired. How easy is it going to be for you to get a new job almost immediately and then sustain your family? Okay. The fourth thing, depending on the stage in your life, you might be considering the schools. First of all, how easy is it to get into a school for your kids, or how easy is it to get to a school for yourself? Depending on if you're interested in continuous education, that might be something you're considering as well for yourself. So are there any good schools around me? How easy is it to get into those schools? What's the wait time? Like some people, they put themselves as a couple on the wait list once they're even pregnant, because those schools could take up to a year to even get into. So that's another important thing to consider. Then another thing, number 6, is healthcare. So healthcare or hospitals. So what's insurance like? How much do you have to pay? Some provinces have it free. Some provinces do not have, how would I say, like some provinces do not have you paying medical insurance monthly, but you're covered because obviously you're paying taxes through other means like your employment, and there are other factors involved, right? So some people have free Medicare in the provinces or medical insurance in the provinces they're located, while in BC it's free for citizens, and then for some people with other statuses, then you're paying $75 monthly. Okay, so you really need to think about that. Also, how close is the hospital to you? If you have a child with special needs or yourself, you want to know that you can quickly get to the hospital in case of an emergency, and there are competent medical practitioners as well as nurses and every other person, right? Ambulance, fire responders, all those people, they're very close to you. Okay, accessible, right? And then another thing is culture. So some people are moving to provinces. I'll describe like how, for example, Canada is. So on the Pacific, like on the west side, we have a lot of Chinese people here, and it's because it's closer to like that side of the world. So we have a lot of Chinese people. If you're looking for a bilingual province, so we have a lot of people from maybe Mali, so French speaking West African countries. Why is this eluding me? So let's see. I think the Congo, Gambia, places where they speak French, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire. So you have a lot of them located in New Brunswick, or let's see, New Brunswick or Ottawa, the province, because it's really bilingual there. And then let's say over in Toronto, there's a large Caribbean, Nigerian community there. So if that's important to you, then you're moving. And then we have actual little communities, smaller communities in Canada that you might want to be. So even in BC, I know I mentioned there are a lot of Chinese people, but then if you go over to Surrey, there are a lot of Indians there. So if culture is really important to you, there's some communities that are like, you know, it's independence or a celebration, and they are actually celebrating it like they're back home in India, Nigeria, China, like wherever they're originally from. So if culture is really important to you, you want to be in a place where Independence Day doesn't go unnoticed, holidays are marked and celebrated, not only for you but for your children, like so that culture, that tradition is passed on from one generation to another. So if it's important to you, consider that also when you're moving. Okay, another thing is the food. So how easy is it to get to the nearest Indian restaurant? How easy is it to get to the nearest African restaurant? Specifically your culture as well, because I know in some continents it's different. So some people like vegetarian, some people like different cuisines, right? So how easy is it? Is there a store? Can you find things easily in Walmart? I know I had to personally, when I got here, I had to Google like English names for ewedu. I found out that was jute leaves, and then there's another name in Korean or Vietnamese, which is saluyot. So things like that. You have to know how accessible or how easy it is to get your local produce. And if you're not that kind of person, if cereal, milk, noodles works for you, then go for it. Live anywhere you want to. That's perfectly okay. And then recreation is number 9, so I got one more to go after this. Recreation for you, fun. How close is the nearest swimming pool, basketball court? If you're a soccer lover, where's the nearest church field, school field, whatever? Like, where is it located? How easy is it for you to get there? Because you know, work-life balance, right? So if you're working all week, you want to be sure that maybe in the evening or on the weekends, you got somewhere to chill. Like Netflix isn't always enough, right? Anyways, that's important. So number 10, the last but not the least, I'll say is accessibility. And for accessibility, I'm talking about things like driving, transit, transportation, even you flying out to the nearest town or driving to the nearest town or even riding a bicycle. That's how accessible some places are. So with bigger cities, you have access to the trains, you have access to like seaplanes, you have access to everything, really. Bicycles, like you could, there bicycles parked on the road where you can pick one up, or cars that you can always pick up, right? So how accessible is where you're located in terms of transportation, and also flying out. So in the case of an emergency or something, how close is the nearest airport to you? How are you going to be able to get out, you know, if there's an emergency? So that's really good. For me, where I stay is not really accessible in the sense that there's a ferry terminal for us to get to the mainland, but however, there's a local airport located, and what that means is that it's local, right? So we can fly to the mainland, which is where the international airport is, and then, you know, we're off to Vegas, off to Mexico, etc. So it's really cool, right? You need to consider that as well. So these are the 10 points today on things you should consider before moving wherever you're moving to, right? So I hope this has been helpful to whoever needed these questions answered. And if you have more opinions, like things that are important to you, as I said, this is my open opinion, you're welcome to actually add on in the comment section. Okay, let's get this conversation started. Thank you for watching. Tomi O. Bye now.